Hi, it's Kathy from Bishopstone Yarns, and I'd like to welcome you here to episode 55 of the Bishopstone Yarns podcast. So this is a mainly crafting podcast where I just kind of do a little rundown of what I've been making recently. So I am coming to you from Tasmania, which is the little island at the south of Australia, and you find me at the moment in the corner of my studio. And I'm sorry about the glare on my glasses. I know I always say that, but there's not a lot I can really do about it. It's just kind of thought I'd better pop on and make a quick video because I haven't done one for a while. So I thought I would let everyone know what I have been up to in September. And for those people who don't know, it is spring here in Australia. And so we have had some absolutely terrible weather here. We've had a lot of wind and a lot of rain and more wind and more wind and more wind. And luckily it is changing. It is getting a little bit nicer now. And so it does mean that everything's growing in the garden. So I have been spending a fair bit of time outside in the garden and not doing quite as much crafting as I guess I would like to, or I would usually do. I shouldn't say how much I would like to, but as much as I probably do in winter. So that's about it really. And now if you're looking for me, you can find me around the internet on Instagram as Bishopstone Yarns. You can find me on Facebook as Bishopstone Yarns. You can find me on Ravelry as Bishopstone. And and sometimes I I do have a blog on Blogger called Bishopstone Yarns, but I don't use that very often. But it's still there if anyone wants to go and have a look at it. And if you want any more information about my knitting and things like that, just pop along to Ravelry and have a look at me there on Bishopstone. Right, well, I guess I should probably just get into it. As I said, I haven't been crafting as much as I normally do. I've been spending a bit more time outside in the garden. Luckily, with all the wind and everything, we haven't lost anything in the garden, which is lucky. But the weeds have been growing really, really quickly with all this rain and a little bit of sunshine, then rain. Yeah, the weeds have gone crazy in the garden. So I have now got gardener's hands, gardener's fingers, always trying to get the kind of dirt out from underneath my fingers. So what have I been doing? Well, last time I think I was talking to you about I had gone and got some sock wool, and I was knitting my son a pair of socks. So as long as I can find the little tag to this somewhere. Oh, did I have the tag? Don't know what I've done with the tag. If I don't find the tag, you will find the name of this on my last podcast. I don't know what I've done with the tag. Anyway, I have finished these socks. I have got this little amount left over, and I have finished my son's socks. So these are for his birthday. And for those people who've been watching for a while, you know that I kind of knit members of my family socks for their birthdays. I'll pop this one into a sock blocker so you can have a look at it. So this is a sock blocker that fits my foot, of course. And so it's going to be too small to actually show this sock off really well because, of course, my son's foot is bigger than mine. But you get the general gist. So here it is. I think it's actually quite nice. It's got, if I can show you up closely, it's got brown, like a dark brown. It's got like a toffee kind of light tan color. It's got a white kind of creamy color, and if you can see there, a nice little purpley kind of strand in there as well. So I was really happy with how these turned out. I like the striping. I'd love to knit myself a pair of socks in a similar sort of colorway, but not brown though. So like more in a pink or a blue kind of striped colorway, because a lot of the other socks I've been knitting have been those ones that have got, well, the other kind of patterned socks. And yeah, I've got a few pairs of those, and I just think these just stripe nicely. I think these are nice, they look good, and yeah, I don't think I'd want a pair of brown socks for myself, but you know, something similar in a different colorway would be great. And if I can find the tag, then of course I'll be able to actually work out what it is and see if I can find another ball of this. Yeah, that's really strange. I really thought I had the tag with these. But anyway, that is one pair of finished socks. So very happy with that. Do you reckon I wonder if I'll be able to get them to stand up here. As you can see, I have not blocked these, but look how gorgeous they are. Absolutely lovely. Love them. And the wool, actually, it's quite a nice filling wool. Some of the sock wool can be a little bit tough and a little bit kind of well, not as smooth to the feel, but this one is really nice. So that is that. I knit those on my Knit Pros 2mm DPNs. As I was saying a few times before, I usually knit in 2 at a time, toe up on a circular needle. But just recently I've gone back to using DPNs for some reason. I don't know why, just a bit of a change. And so I do like the metal DPNs. Actually, I've got some bamboo DPNs, which I actually like my bamboo DPNs as well. So I'm not quite sure what I would say my favorite kind of needle is, but that's what I enjoy doing. The other thing I was saying was last episode I was talking about I had just been out to the wool shop to buy some wool. I had been given a gift voucher for the wool shop, and so I also bought a little case to keep my DPNs in. So this is the case that I had bought. It's got little press studs on there, as you can see. So what you do with this is, so like, let's just imagine that I had my knitting on here, and you pop your needles with your work kind of coming out here, the sock kind of coming out here, and do up the press studs, and voila, the needles don't come out, and then your work is just sitting down here. Your sock will be sitting, the working sock will be working down here, and then you don't have to worry about losing stitches off the ends of your DPNs because it holds it all in place. Really nifty little idea. It's really just a pouch, if you can kind of imagine. Just undo it, take this out. So it's really just a lovely lined pouch, and of course it's purple, which is my favorite color. So really happy with this. So I got that from the wool shop out at Moona, and very nice. Very happy I've got that. The other thing I did when I was out there was I did go out and this is the wool that I ended up buying out there. So the Bluebell Merino 5-ply. She didn't have a lot of colours in the 5-ply to choose from, but I really like this green. So I ended up choosing this green. I think I got 8 balls of this, and I decided to start knitting again. I've already knitted one of these, but the Vanilla Sweater by the Woolly Thistle. And so the last one I did this was in a purple with the called for yarn. I have to keep looking it up because, of course, I keep calling it the wrong thing. If I can find where the name of the yarn is. Oh yes, so Ramel Finnegan, which is a light fingering or a sport weight. So that's what I had knitted my first jumper in this, in a lovely purple. And then I thought, well, I'll knit another one in this lovely green. So I have started knitting this. This is a top-down pattern. And, oops, if I can get myself undone here. So here we are. This is the start of the jumper. And this is how much I've done so far. Usually what happens, well, I think actually once I got to the armhole and I divided for the armhole, I did try it on and I was quite happy with it. And then I have been knitting the rest of the body. And then I just thought the other day I should probably go and try it on, which I did. And then I realized, oh, it's going to be quite a tight kind of jumper. And I'm not usually one who wears tight jumpers. Oh, excuse me. I'm just going to stop and have a bit of a... Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just had a frog in my throat. Yes, so usually when I knit a jumper, I like a little bit of ease. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. I mean, I'm quite a short person. Well, I am a very short person, actually, I should say. I am very short. So wearing something that's really, really baggy doesn't look all that good on me. So I usually like to have something, but something with a bit of ease, a bit like this. So this is my Dala sweater by, yes, now I've totally forgotten, but if you go back and have a look at, I think it's for about 2-3 episodes ago, I've got it listed in there, or on my Ravelry site. You'll be able to find it on there as well, who it's by, but you can definitely find this pattern on Ravelry. So this is the Dala sweater, and as you can see, there's a nice bit of ease here. This jumper, even though I was pretty sure I used the same sizing that I made for my purple vanilla sweater, this one is definitely a lot more cozy. So cozy to the body. So I'm not sure. I was in two minds. Do I rip it back to the armholes, make it kind of slightly bigger, because I could come back to here, just make it the body a little bit bigger and then keep going. But then I thought, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll just keep going. I'm almost to the point where I'm going to start the rib. I might try it on again and see what I think. But I guess that's what you get for not trying your jumper on while you're knitting it. Because, I don't know, maybe it's not going to be quite as tight as I think, but maybe it is. But, I mean, it does fit me, but there's no room for putting on any more weight, put it that way. And usually I like something that's kind of a bit more flowy around my tummy, so you don't get to see too much of my tummy. Anyway, we'll see how we go with this. Yes, I think actually before I keep knitting anymore, I might try it on again and see how I go. See whether I like it again or not. Yeah, I mean, I like it, but whether or not I like how close fitting it is, I'll decide. Yes, I don't know. Anyway, so very happy with that. Love the colour. No, it's not really showing you. It's a kind of a more of a green colour than that, but I'm just looking to see if this has a name. It just has, the colour is 4410. So it doesn't have a name. So the other moving on from that one as well, the other knitting I've been doing is I have also been knitting my second Anne and Carlos pullover, Save the Children pullover. And this one I have been using some black 5-ply Bendigo woolen mills. I think it's in Raven, which was in my stash. And I was going to get my son, my other son, who I was knitting this one for, sorry, just going to pick it up. I was going to get him to go out and buy contrasting colour for the top. So there's the black that I had in my stash. This is also left over from when I knitted the same jumper for my husband. So yeah, I had a lot of this black in my stash, and I didn't think I was ever going to knit anything for myself in it. Then I found in my stash, oh, excuse me, some really old wool here, which is a 5-ply crepe. You see, it's even got the, came out $1.28. If only wool was that cheap now. $1.28. Isn't that amazing? I wish that, I wish I could buy wool for $1.28 a ball now. So this is, well, it's shade number 9806. Not that that's really going to make any difference, because I don't think you'd be able to find this unless it was in someone else's old stash. But if you can see, it's kind of white with a bit of a very, very light kind of browny, it's not going to, like a browny, almost light pink kind of colour in it as well. Kmart, of course, being, for those people who don't know, is just a big department store in Australia. And yeah, so this is a machine washable, shrink resistant, 60% wool, 40% nylon, which is not usually my go-to kind of wool, but since it had been sitting in my stash for a long time, I thought I would use it. So let's just see, excuse me again, I have to bend down to get this. So where I'm up to is last time, I think when I showed you this, I had only just got up to the top of the black. I hadn't started the colour work. So this is the body. So at the moment this is knitted in 2 pieces, kind of starting from top up. So I have knit up to just up until under the arms in 1 piece, and then I've knitted the 2 sleeves from kind of going from cuff up. And then this time what I'm doing is, with the colour work, I decided I would do all the colour work together, as in I'll knit the first row of the body, then first row on one sleeve and first row on the second sleeve, then go back to the body and then do the second row in the pattern on the body, second row on the sleeves. Don't ask me why I'm doing it this way, because I don't know, because last time I just did all the colour work on the body, then I went back and did the colour work on the sleeve. Maybe I'm doing it this way because I just want the colour work to go through and be done. I don't want to have to go back and then redo the pattern again. Maybe that's why I'm doing it. So this is where I'm up to at the moment. So I think about 3 rows off joining the sleeves to the body. So you can imagine this will be sitting about here. I really like it. I like actually the contrast as well between the black and the almost white. So it's working out really well, but just going slowly. This is not for a birthday. This is just, might end up being for Christmas. I think I should have it finished by Christmas. It's just something I've just been kind of doing slowly, because of course I've got to concentrate on what I'm doing. And then I've been knitting this jumper. And so I've just been slowly going with this one. Let me see if I can just grab the sleeves out. So here are the sleeves. You can see. and so they're up to the same stage as well, looking equally as lovely. Now I am also very, very hopeful that this is going to fit my son, fit him well, because I don't really want to have to pull back all the colour work once I've done it and do it again. So hopefully it will. I've got him to try on the other jumper that I made in this pattern, and that fitted him. So hopefully, as long as these two turn out they exactly the same, it will fit him. Yeah. Now there's no reason why this jumper, which is knit in exactly the same way with the same black wool and everything as the previous jumper of Anna Carla's jumper of this that I knitted, but then again this one has not turned out exactly the same as the one I did before, but this is different wool, so maybe that's the big difference. So hopefully by using the same wool in this jumper it will fit him really well. So that is all the knitting that I have been doing. Let's stop and think about that. Yes, that is all the knitting that I have been doing. I have been doing a little bit of sewing. What I was hoping to do in September, why should I talk about what I was going to what I was hoping to do in September was start my cross stitch again and finish my last 4. Oh, here it is. I was hoping to finish my last 4 of the 12 days of Christmas, because I thought I could do September, October, November, December, so one each month, and I will be finished for Christmas. But of course that did not happen. September came. September is kind of over, and I have not started that cross stitch. That's okay, because I also have next year. I can I don't have to have it all finished this Christmas. I can finish it for next Christmas, and that's fine. So I haven't got any cross stitching done. I have been, excuse me once again, I have been working, got my little sewing caddy with me. I have been working on my, on my Hexie project. So my little handwork here, if I can show you. So here's all of the blues that I have, and these are all, I've pieced them all together using the glue method with hexagon shapes. And so I've got these all together. I've got these placed together in the little groups that I'm going to be making the hexagon flowers with. So I have done a number of these. I take these along to my quilting group because they're nice and easy to you know, just work on while I'm chatting. And so I haven't quite decided what I'm going to end up doing with these. Probably more like I think like a winter kind of themed table runner. I do have oh, if I can get this out of my box, show you. I do have some more kind of autumny coloured, well, these are more, yeah, these are autumn and flowery kind of hexagons I've got in there, which will probably be for something different. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do at the moment. And then I've got a whole heap of just, I guess I've got a whole heap of hexagons cut out but not pieced together, in terms of I haven't glue basted them yet, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. Whether I'm going to make, I don't know, actually I don't know. Maybe I could just make some material to make some bags, a bit like if I can maybe just grab this one. So this one here was a pattern that came from Hugs and Kisses from the um, quarter inch patchwork shop in Hobart. So this uses a whole heap of little hexies back there together, and I kind of quite like having the idea of using hexies on a little pouch. So this is one I made before from one of their little kits. I absolutely love that. So something like that, I could make some of the hexies that I've got in the other colours into just a little project bag or something like that, I think. And yeah, so the only other thing I can show you that I've been doing is, now that I have finished my Farmer's Wife sampler quilt, I thought it was time to work on, well, long story. Before my mother died, she started making me a quilt out of sari silk, recycled old sari silk from Japan. And sari silk, no, not sari silk, kimono silk. So silk used in kimonos, traditional Japanese kimonos. And so I finished, after she died, I finished that off. And that was in a, I don't know what it's called, when you have strips and they're kind of, they kind of create this kind of shape like this, and then the next line kind of, so you end up with a zigzag pattern. I did not want to do that with the leftover pieces that I had, so I ended up putting them together in this sort of a configuration. I don't know what you call this, but here it is. So this is like yeah, well, it is what it is, isn't it? So I've got, so I tried really hard to do this as randomly as possible. I did not want to think about it too much. I just wanted to put them together. So what I have got now is, I ended up with 19 blocks because I was just using up all the strips that were left over. So of course 19, there is no way to configure 19 into a kind of like quilt size. So I've got those 3 that I just showed you left over, and then I have, I wonder if I can stand up to show you this. So then I have this here. Maybe if I just, so that's what it's looking like at the moment. I think I am, was it 4x4 blocks in this? So I'm still trying to decide whether or not I just keep it 4x4 and turn this into a little lap quilt, or whether or not I add the last 3 squares and then just a totally different color on the corners. I could kind of offset these squares into this, if that makes sense. So start one kind of like part of the way in. No, can't really explain it to you, but it would mean that I would have to add a color that isn't in the quilt just on the edges, which I'm not quite sure that I really like the idea of doing that. So I could just make this into the quilt and then have this either as a table runner, join 3 of these together for a table runner, or I guess I could make a bag. I mean, a project bag, you know, it just seems the material just seems so nice. It's just such beautiful silk. It just seems too nice to have it as just as a bag to use. I think I'd be worried that if it was a bag, I'd catch stuff on it. And I've got all these threads that come off this silk. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it does lose a lot of threads. I don't know if you can see even the edges there. And as people who've been watching for a while will know, I'm not really a great sewer at all. And so working with silk has been interesting because it does slip around quite a bit, and some of these, when joining some of them together, some of these silk has been incredibly slippery, and have to make sure it doesn't move around, and I've found it quite tricky in a lot of ways to do this. Or not tricky, but just you have to pay a lot of attention. Mind you, it is a lot quicker than doing the farmer's wife sampler quilt. I kind of thought, oh my gosh, you know, you can just sew these together really quickly and really easily, until you get to a point like I am when I've got 3 left over and I can't decide what to do, and then I spend all my time now, sit around for weeks thinking about this. But anyway, that is my beautiful kind of stripy kimono silk half finished top. Yes. So that's it really for everything that I have been making. I have made the socks. I'm halfway through my vanilla sweater, halfway through my son's Anne and Carlos jumper. I've got some hexies done, and I've done a little bit of sewing. So that's about it really. That's all I've been up to. Apart from that, I have been having a great time watching next door through all of this horrible weather. We have had a pair of plovers sitting next door on eggs, and oh my gosh, I've just felt like, I mean, the weather has been so bad and so windy and so horrible, and they sit out there on their eggs in the open, protecting their eggs, and then after, I'm just trying to think, how long is it? Is it like 28 days or something? I think it is. Then one morning I was out there watching them, and suddenly, oh, there were little chicks. I felt like a grandmother. I felt like I was like an expectant grandmother waiting for these chicks, and then all of a sudden they have hatched, and I thought, oh, it was just the cutest things, because baby plovers are like just like a little ball of fluff walking on legs. And so I thought, after sitting there through such absolutely terrible weather, they so deserved to have chicks. And so they had 4 chicks to begin with. I'm not sure if they've got 3 or 2 left now. There were 3 up until yesterday, and then last night I could only see 2. So I'm not quite sure how many are out there now. But it's that time of the year. It is spring. There has also been a pair of ducks around here as well who've been wandering up and down the road with 10 little chicks. I haven't seen those 10 chicks for quite a while, so I'm not quite sure where they've gone, what they're doing, but hopefully they're all still around as well. Mind you, because we live near the beach, there are a lot of gulls, a lot of Pacific gulls and big birds around. So it wouldn't be nature if a few of those little ducklings hadn't quite made it through. Let's put it that way. But that's the joy of nature, and it is nature, and it has to kind of grow and go as it does. But having said that, I am super happy with my garden at the moment. I'm super happy with my knitting and everything. So yeah, can't wait for summer to roll around. I hope everyone else is having a really great time as well. I hope the weather wherever you are is not too bad, that you're got some really nice weather and some nice crafting weather. And I hope you've had a chance to sit down and enjoy a bit of crafting. So if you like this video, give it the thumbs up, because that would be lovely. And if you're not subscribed, if you could subscribe, that would be great. And I guess that's all I've got to say, because now I'm just going to start rambling. And I will be back, well, in a few weeks' time, and hopefully I might have some finished jumpers to show you. Okay, bye.